right, we are live. Let's make this full screen. I'm waiting for some more people to come in the live. My dad would call me right when I'm going live. Plug my phone in. Talk about this trade we had today. It was a beautiful. Waiting for someone to come into the live on TikTok. Let me mark this better. Alrighty. Lovely trade we had today. I don't know if y'all traded today, but we had a beautiful trade today. Let's talk about it. And we're also, when we backtest today, we're going to backtest fully higher time frame analysis, like from the daily to the 1 minute. So today we had a 1 hour for value gap that I thought we were going to tap. I was actually hoping we tapped it overnight, and it did. So if you look at the daily on ES, we went into the fair value gap way before. What's today? Tuesday? What is today? Okay, yeah. We're way up here. On ES, we went into the fair value gap on Thursday last week, and this was our S&P divergence. We for the reversal on Thursday. And then NQ just tapped into it today, so we had an SMT, if you know what that means. You know, we took out the low on NQ. On ES, we're pushing up. And then, obviously, same thing, like we didn't come down and swept, but we swept on ES the day before. So I knew we were coming in and getting a reversal. Obviously, I got in at 10. Today, the reversal was at around the regular macros time, around like 9:50. So I got in on the 15-minute chart. I got in early, but once we inverted this for value gap and this one, I was like, oh, we're good money. No, I lied. Once we inverted this one, so I got in, but this candle was not filled yet. But once I went down to the 1 minute and the 5 minute, we had market structure shifts on both. Market structure shifts on both. So by the time I got on at 10 o'clock, this is what we had. 10 o'clock at market structure shift already down there. So this is for the 950 macros, what I used to trade. The 930, you would have kind of got faked out a little bit, or it was a little messy on the 930. But we came down. We got market structure shift here. So I got in right at 10 o'clock when I got on the chart and saw something. I could have waited to tap back into this fair value gap, but I got in before it tapped in. It came down, tapped into this fair value gap. And then on the 5 minute, it was not that bad of an entry. On the 5 minute, the market structure shift was a little higher. I got in right on this candle here on the 5 minute. Stop loss below the fair value gap in case someone to pull back. Took it to these equal lows. So this was a 1 minute fair value gap that I did not. And I called it on live. I said we could go up to this fair value gap. It was, well, it's filled now, so it's gone. But it was this fair value gap right here, if y'all could see it. There's a fair value gap. I didn't want to mark it because I already marked like a 4 hour fair value gap. I marked the 15-minute ones. I marked the daily one. I didn't want to bombard my screen with a 1 minute one, but I said we could at least go up to that 1 minute one, if not the 4 hour one. Did we go to the 4 hour one? No, we did not. So yeah, I could have held, honestly, up until this gap. I didn't fully close the gap, but halfway in the gap. But I sold at these equal highs. Someone else on my live, they sold right after we took out these equal highs. I moved my stop loss to break even at this equal high. But I think he got in at the bottom, so that's a good move. He got in at the bottom. Obviously, I got in halfway, so I took it a little further. But yeah, great trade. It did reverse from there. I saw someone take this on live too. It reversed a little bit, not fully, but our 10 a.m. trade was the trade of the day, power of 3. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution for the biggest trade of the day. Again, I could have held up to here, but I made 650 on this, so I would have probably held. It probably been like 1,000, but again, I wanted to just take my profit because to me, I would have liked it to come down into the hour daily fair value gap a little more before we came out of it. Like it like kissed this daily fair value gap, kissed it. It did sweep liquidity though. We got a nice turtle soup. But I was like, it could like pull back and go lower. It did not. It just traded sideways the rest of the day, which it kind of has been doing lately. You got to catch this one big move, and then it'll trade sideways the rest of the day. But yeah, this is a great trade this morning. A lot of people called it, and I love when everyone on Twitter, we catch the same trade. I love it. But yeah, a little sad I didn't wait for this fair value gap, even just right here, for a better risk to reward. I had 1 to 1.5, which is not the best risk to reward, but again, I got it at 10. This happened right before the macros, so it is what it is. Still got a great entry, still got a nice fair value gap entry. If I would have waited for the fair value gap on the 1 minute and on the 5 minute, we got great taps for a better risk to reward. You know me, I just get in right at the market structure shift. So we'll see what tomorrow brings us. We're probably going to these equal highs up here and pushing to this 4-hour value gap. So I'm feeling bullish tomorrow if that's what you guys, some of y'all want that. But yeah, the SMT, you can trade reversal straight off SMT. We love it. We love it. We love it. So today on backtesting, I want to go over higher time frame analysis to down time, because usually when I do these backtesting sessions, I just do 1 hour analysis and then below. But this time I want to do, we're going to start on the daily and we're going to work our way down, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Yeah, okay, so let's go to the next New York session. Next New York session. Where are we? Are we low or are we high? Okay, yeah, we're low. Then you go to the daily and you just see, again, there's some days, to me, in my opinion, there's a lot of days where the daily is not going to show you much. The 4 hours is not going to show you much. That's why I go to the 1 hour. But today, like I said, we had that daily fair value gap right there. So that's just where we were. Okay, do we have SMT? Okay, we have no SMT. So this is the daily. Again, see, this is one of those days where it doesn't really tell you much. There's no fair value gaps in here. Blessing. There's no fair value gaps in here. There is one here that's kind of inversed. There's one right here. But I'm like, I don't think that helps with our analysis at all. We're already trading in the middle of it. We're kind of trading in the zone. So I wouldn't draw that. Now, I might draw this one for us to possibly target down and back into this to maybe invert it. Now, liquidity on the daily, we do have equal lows down here. Fair assumption. Now, on ES, I mean, it still stopped it out. This is equal lows. This is the SMT, but obviously this is a previous day. But this low didn't quite sweep out this low. On ES, it swept it, and then they both reversed from there. Now, from the 4 hour, and honestly, a lot of people just do their analysis from the 4 hour on. Like I said, on the 4 hour, we do have equal lows right here. Relative equal lows, no equal highs. We did tap into this fair value gap already on the 4 hour, and we strongly removed from it. Is there another one that for where this wick hit? I think there is. Like, some of this is also so unnecessary. That's why I don't do it every day. But like, there are days where there have been days where we had a 4 hour fair value gap and I just knew we were trading to it and it ran down so much and I made so much money that day. So there are days where it's like you kind of know where it's going and it's very obvious. But a lot of the days you're gonna get something like this, but you still want to market. So you have this is good. Like, you have 2 gaps it can go up to and reverse from. It already reversed from this gap. It's probably going here. It's already halfway there though, so it might not give you an entry. It might just go down and then reverse from here, but this is still a bullish. So it's supposed to come in this green one and reverse. And then this is a bear, so it should come in here and reverse. That's why I keep them different colors, so you know like what it should do. You don't have to think about it. Then I go to the 15-minute time frame to watch how trades play out. I usually don't mark things on the ES unless it's like major. Like as you saw on here, let's see what I have marked. I think I just had the high and the SMT. See, that's all I have marked on ES versus all the shit I had on NQ. So to me, I don't really mark, what up, Tay? I don't really mark a bunch unless I need to on ES. You can just kind of see the obvious. But today was a beautiful, easy setup day. I love when days like this happen, what we all took. But let's see what we get. 10 o'clock. And then we'll just do to 1. 3 hours of trading. Yeah, it's trading very sideways. Kind of like it was doing on, okay, on ES, we got a liquidity sweep, which is this liquidity on NQ. So sometimes everyone's like, SMT, SMT. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes NQ is just slower, and it's just going to eventually go up there and take it, and then you would mark SMT for reversal, and they both swept. Now, I don't think NQ is going to sweep all the way up here for reversal, so that's where your SMT is probably going to be. We're probably going to sweep this on ES, and then we probably should reverse when ES hits it first, but let's just see. Or I can reverse from here. I'm still in the 15-minute chart, actually. I should, so I lied. I thought I was on the 1-minute chart. My bad, y'all. We did get a 10 a.m. reversal. As you see right here, we reversed, came down, swept this liquidity, and our target was those highs. My bad. That was a misjudgment since we're on replay. Liquidity sweep, this is the trade. Sorry. And then 9:30, obviously you got a down trade, which we love, but again, your 10 a.m. trade is like 3 times bigger than the 9:30 trade. So what we would have waited for, I mean, you could have got a terrible entry coming in here. You could have waited for it to come back down and then get in on this market structure shift, which is a little better of an entry. Stop loss below the low. Take it to those opposite highs. That was the trade. 10 a.m. reversal. That was my bad, y'all. I was looking at over the thing. But basically, you probably wanted to come up here and reverse from there. But we knew it was going up here because of ES. ES pushed and NQ was following. So 10 a.m. reversal. Every day, this is what you're trading. But you see how that all that analysis we did not help us at all. That's why I don't do too much analysis. I kind of just wait for an internal or external liquidity sweep. And then you'll get, obviously, a market structure shift, a strong displacement to the other direction, and you can just play off of it. But beautiful 10 a.m. reversal trade. And you even could have took it a little bit past it for a nice 1 to 5. And then the 9:30 trade wasn't that bad either. We got liquidity sweep, entry, stop loss above the high here, and then take it down to here for a 1 to 2.7. So 9:30 traders had this trade. Us 10 a.m. traders had this trade. And it did take the whole 3 hours of trading time. So it happens. Let's go to the next day. Next New York session. And let's just see. This is how you do this every morning. Every morning I get on the charts, and this is how you just mark up. Let's start on just the 4 hour today, because the daily, I knew it had a daily fair value gap just from like, you'll know when you look at the daily, like the market would just be very choppy and weird, and then you'll just go on the daily and be like, oh, like the day you lose is like the day you'll be like, oh, on the daily we're going somewhere. Okay, on the daily, it looks like we're coming up to this liquidity point. Clearly. There's another one up here. So let's see if we take one of these out and reverse. And that should line up with, honestly, all the time frames. 4 hour and 1 hour. Boom. There's another one on the 1 hour here. And a fair value gap. I mean, the 4 hour. So we can mark this. 1 hour. Same shit. Equal lows are the downside for a target. Then you just go to the 15-minute and you wait for a move off of one of them. And I just forgot to go back to the lower time frame, yes, on the last trade we just did, to show y'all how to enter. But yet that trade we just replayed was a beautiful trade. We're already close, so let's just wait for to come up here and get reversal off one of these. It might not. It might give us a little market structure shift here. Fair value gap entry here. So let's wait and see. All right, looks like we're just getting in sales. No liquidity sweep is what it's looking like. You can wait for it to go below this too if you want to be extra safe. Or you could have played one of these up here, this pullback up into all these fair value gaps here. And it's just trading sideways, so this would have been a day you just would have sold in profit on one of these or take a small loss. Yeah, it just traded sideways. It tapped you in for maybe something like this. If you waited and got in on one of these and took it to here for 1 to 1.5, not terrible, but you just would have cut your losses. You see it's trading sideways. When it comes back to one of these, just sell and profit and move on about your day. Let's see if it runs down, and I'm just being impatient. Oof, news. That's news, so you want to be out of a trade before news. As you can see, that's 2 o'clock news. So you would have sold right there before the news candle if you didn't sell before any of these. That's why I don't like trading past 1 o'clock. But if there's news, just be out before and then trade after news. Like trade the reversal after news. Yeah, this reversal or that reversal. But again, I don't trade the afternoon. But that was a not terrible trade. WBA, what's that? What's WBA? I don't know what that is. All right, let's go to the next day. New York session. Yeah, that news ran up. Want to be out. Some people trade news, though. I know people who do trade news. I do not. I did see this news strategy, though, where you basically set a buy order somewhere here or whatever, and then you a sell order here, and then once it taps you in, you kind of like close it at 2 seconds into the trade. WBA is a stock. I thought so. I don't trade stocks anymore. I thought it was a stock, though. Everyone always asks. I only trade the indices. What platform are you trading on? This is TradingView lookalike. This is FX replay. This is just a replay. You have to buy this for back testing. I trade on NinjaTrader though, and I chart on TradingView. But I execute my trades on NinjaTrader, and I have a Windows parallel for my Mac, but I have to use NinjaTrader on here. This is Rhythmic for Rhythmic data. Nope, not Netflix. Okay, let's put this back on we're gonna go to the 4 hours. Do 4 hour. I thought you were stock trading. No, I just trade indices and I trade futures. That's gambling. Come on. I agree it's gambling, but some people don't. Some people swear they know how to trade news, and I think the only news you can trade profitably is 10 a.m. news. Now, I've noticed though with this 2 p.m. news, it will come down into a fair value gap. Let's see if it did it. It'll come down to a fair value gap, and then it'll run up and shoot up. I've noticed. Okay, that's not. Let's see the day we just did. I never traded it. I've always traded like afterwards, but I've seen it happen too many times. Like it will just come into a fair value gap and you buy it right here. I have a limit order set and it runs. And I bet this is FOMC. It's FOMC. It does it every time. I've never seen a negative FOMC news. I've only seen it run up. Again, I've only been trading for like 8 months, so maybe in 2 years it'll be red. But I've never. FOMC just comes, it taps into a fair value gap, and it runs every time. I swear to God, So I don't trade news, but I'm just saying I've seen it happen a few times. If you wanna YOLO. But all right, next New York session. Do we go to the next New York session? Yeah, no stocks. It just NASDAQ futures. It says futures on the screen. I don't stock trade anymore. Okay, well, we have this fat ass 4 hour fair value gap. I don't like it when it's fat like this because it's so much movement. There's so many trades that can happen in this movement, in this gap, that this gap now is irrelevant to us technically. If we're like up here, but we're already in it, it can go here and then reverse. It can go, like, it's just so much can happen in this gap. But we'll mark it. Obviously, buy side is here, and sell side is these equal lows on the 4 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour, see if we have something a little cleaner. Not much. We already swept this low here. So let's just see how this plays out. Let's go to the 15-minute. We have London highs and Asian highs here. And then on the 15-minute, we do have a swing low here. A little better. A little better. Let's mark 10 a.m. And let's mark 1. Again, I try to be up by 12, so I mark 12 at 1, and then we'll see. Thank you for doing this. Of course, I do it for y'all, and I do it for myself. Like, I need to be doing this every day. Might as well do it and show people what they should be doing, or if they don't want to pay for it, they can do it with me. And that's why I don't set orders, because I want us to discuss what, if I'm wrong, what we could have done right, and or we just lost that day. Versus, like, a lot of people like to see the money. But if you do have this, you can actually place orders and see how much money you would make and grow your account. And it will give you a win rate as well, like 70%, 80%. It will give you that if you place the orders. Just so you know, if you really want to do that. All right, I mean, there's an internal liquidity here that let's see if we reverse from, if it doesn't want to go all the way down before 10. Okay, it looks like we hit this one on top first. No reversal yet, but it is pulling back like it wants to reverse. On the 1 minute, there is a fair value gap to inverse if you want it. I mean, we don't get market trigger shift till way down here, which really sucks, but we did get a tap back into it, so I guess that'd be our trade. And we don't even have to take it to external liquidity. We can take it here for, that's a good 1 to 3. Again, though, this is a big 4 hour bullish fair value gap. So this could be tapping this back in to go higher the rest of the day. So I don't know, actually. Because look at this wick right here. This wick is given like, actually, JK, we want to come back in here, tap, and go higher. So actually, let's delete this and see how it plays out. Okay, well, I was right, but also it did give you a nice move for this trade. If you took it, I had it down to the orange line, but if you took it just to here, not even here, that's still a 3 to 6. And then we did inverse this, but it looked like we're pulling back up to come out of this. Let's see if it keeps going higher. Yeah, so I had a feeling. Because this is a higher time frame for value gap. But that's still not a bad trade. 10 a.m. reversal, 1 to almost 4, not a bad trade. And then you could have waited though if you were really bullish, like we kind of obviously were. And this is why people like trade the trend or look at higher time frame analysis or da 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 da. Like, you can't trade if you don't do. Obviously, yes, it helps. But look, you could have traded this beautiful trade, been done in 20 minutes. And it was against the trend. It's against the trend. It's against this bullish for value gap. It's against all the shit. And you still got a good trade. Now, yes, you could have waited for, again, the bigger trade of the day. But if you get a good setup, it's still in 10 a.m. It still follows your rules, you know. And if you miss this trade, you're not mad because you got this trade. You see what I'm saying? There's no FOMO. The markets just hand you shit. This is why I like 10 a.m. It feeds you nicely. And it just, you know, there's nothing to worry about. Obviously, though, this was a day where most of us probably would have waited for a reaction off this. Bullish, green, fair value gap. Because the 4 hour gap, we marked it for a reason. And then maybe you can take it all the way up to this buy side liquidity. All right, so let's see if it goes up there. Obviously, there's some liquidity here, and there's actually equal highs right here. So that's a perfect place to sell as well. But boom. So yeah, that was the bigger trade of the day, obviously. So that's why people who have a bearish, who go in with the bias, it's nice if you know what you're doing. But as beginners, you can trade this 10 a.m. reversal without a bias. And I don't trade bias because since I only trade for an hour or two a day, like this move could have happened, this reversal at 2 p.m. Like after lunch. So yeah, we could have had a bullish day, but my trade could have took us down maybe a little further, and then we had a bigger run afterwards, just not in our 10 a.m. hour, and it could have been in the afternoon session and still be a bullish day, even though I got a good trade that was bearish. So that's why I don't really go with the bias. But if you waited for your bias, you did have the bigger trade of the day on this trade. However, I want to let y'all know that we had two good options today, and that was fine. It wasn't going to this orange candle, so I get that, but it did come down and sweep a little bit. I mean, it didn't come down to this one either. So you would just have to be ready to take your losses. I mean, cut your gains by a few ticks, but still a good sell trade. And then a beautiful 10 a.m. reversal for the big trade of the day off of this 4-hour fair value gap. And let's see what it looks like on the 4-hour chart. That's what it looks like. The trade came down, boom, and then we got this 10 a.m. candle back up to the buy side. That's it. That's all you got to do. The market goes to liquidity and it goes to imbalances and fair value gaps. That's how I trade. I know some people are like, you think the market, you think banks trade like that? I don't give a flying fuck. But also I do, because banks are trading with millions of trillions of billions of dollars. They have to come where a bunch of orders are resting for the orders to get filled. They can't just sell or buy at any time, because our little $600 trades are not going to fill them. Someone has to be able to buy their trades and sell their trades when they're trading as well. So they're going to places where a lot of orders are setting, where a lot of money is setting, so they can get their orders filled. That's why ICT makes sense. That's how he explains it. Now, if you don't think that is how it works, that's fine. That is fine. Like I said, you don't need to know what banks are doing to be a profitable trader. And I will die on that hill. Next, New York session. All right, we came back down now and more into that gap. That's why it was nice for that other day. This is the day where the gap really won't fucking matter unless you want to trade to the bottom of it or trade to the middle of it. I wanted to just let me put a line in the middle like TradingView does. TradingView lets you... No, it doesn't. Yeah, TradingView lets you put a line at 50% in the middle. FX Replay does not, which is fine. We do have a market structure shift. Looks like. So if you're a breaker trader, you can wait for it to pull back into this yellow orange line and then go lower. But let's see what we have on the 1 hour, and yeah, it looks the same. 15-minute, we still have, I think we just swept that 15-minute low that I had marked on the previous day we just back tested. Yeah. And then obviously, your previous session highs is London high and then Asian highs up here. We're in a good range. I don't think Asian has equal highs though. Relative equal highs. So that's gorgeous. So let's just see what we get at 10 a.m. And that's the good thing about 10 a.m. or even just if you trade reversals, even without a bias or like without your liquidity move, you can trade them semi-profitably. Obviously, you want to have at least liquidity points drawn, because sometimes you'll get faked out getting in a reversal and then it goes higher because liquidity was so close. But most of the time, you can just trade reversals without even marking your liquidity point, which is really nice. We do have a nice long wick here. And I always mark internal at 9:30 because 9:30 sometimes likes to do that. It doesn't need to come down and take this one. We're already close, so I'm going to wait for it. But sometimes 9:30 will just take out the 8:30 or the 7 or some internal liquidity point and then run up. So let's just see. And again, this is just time on the market. Okay, you see how we swept this. Also, like y'all saw, the candle was not closed. That's why you wait for candle closes. It looked like a green candle, and then we played it, and then it closed red. And then we have a nice push off of it. So that is my sign to go on the 1 minute time frame, and we wait for a market structure shift. There's an inverted fair value gap here for an inverted market structure shift if you want that. I prefer it to make some new swing lows, swing highs. And the market structure shift is way up here, which I don't like, but yeah, I'll probably play this inversion, not gonna lie to y'all. Or get in up here. But play the inversion, because after a good major liquidity sweep, and I need to do better at that, because my loss on Monday, or yesterday, was because I waited way for market structure shift, and it was kind of just a pullback, and we were bearish the rest of the day, versus if you get in on the inverse fair value gap on the 1 minute, you still could, trade a good bit, and then if it reverses on you, you still made a good bit of money, Like, let's see if it does that. Okay, yeah, this was the trade, obviously. Now, if you were, me and waiting for it, it did play out our way, but we probably would want it to go a little further higher. But if it doesn't, like I said, that 1 minute entry, say it doesn't, say it just goes to sweep here, like, you still get a good run. Let me see if I can show y'all, because I'm actually bad about this on yesterday. Yesterday was the 26th, correct? Yes. Okay. That's the 23rd. Let me make this full screen. This is the 5 minute chart. Okay, this was yesterday. Okay, so yesterday I got in sells because obviously this displacement, I had a trailing stop that stopped me out, right? And then we got this nice move up. I traded the 5 minute chart, which we're on the 5 minute. So my entry was here once we inverse this fair value gap. And obviously I got stopped out somewhere like here, stopped out for a loss, which ate my little win, even though my trailing stop would not have stopped me out because I knew we were going to sell side liquidity. This was like my trade or whatever. But if I would have caught it on the 1 minute, we got a nice inverted fair value gap, and a lot of gurus took this trade. We got an inverted fair value gap that lined up with a beautiful fair value gap tap here. We got another fair value gap. You love it when they line up together like this. It's green. It tapped into it. This is the trade I should have took. And then obviously if it didn't go all the way to the other side, like I wanted it to sweep up 930 liquidity, I could have took it, for a 1 to 3 still. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's like with the 1 minute chart, you can take these little pullbacks because they're still like good trades. If it's a bearish day, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone, this is obviously a bearish day, and I got in that trade because we inverted. Why is it taking me so far back? We inverted this 15-minute fair value gap here. This green one. This is why I knew we were going down, and there's no liquidity under that gap except for here. So like I said, I trade reversals, but if it's an obvious continuation play like this, you can take that. Like I took this trade as well, but then like you could have took this trade, and that's still a 10 a.m. reversal, a 1 to almost 4 trade on the 1 minute. So that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes these inverted fair value gaps, because we didn't get a market trigger shift at all. Like the only thing we got to confirm our reversal was this until we closed above this. So I feel like, and this was a major liquidity point. This is the only major liquidity point in this gap. So it's like, you can play that. I know it's scary sometimes. And if you don't play it, it's fine. Just don't play it. But I'd rather play this or not take the trade at all. And then besides getting it way up here, and it comes like here and reverses on you like it did me, you know what I'm saying? So food for thought. That's something you'll have to do on your own. You'll have to dark mode. I use dark mode when I trade. Yes, this is my trading. This is how I trade every day. I don't this is just FX replay. I could put it on dark mode for y'all if y'all want to. I just didn't know if y'all like it. But this is how I trade. I trade on dark mode. All my phone and shit's on dark mode. I also wear glasses, so I It might help. It might make my eyes worse. I don't know. But if you want it on dark mode, I can try it. I don't know. Because this works like Trading View, but it's a little different than Trading View to the point where I hope it's the same. I don't even remember how to put that shit on dark mode. Oh, here we go. Ooh. These colors are so... Oh, hold on. Should we do black? Does black help? Oh, I should hit apply to all. Is black better? Is that better? But I don't know how to put all this on dark mode like my Trading View is. I mean, I'm sure I can figure it out like after this and have it all dark tomorrow. But if this helps better, is this better than the white? But yeah, I use dark mode when I trade for sure. Why do you trade 10 a.m. instead of market open? Choose time the market shows opposite direction. Okay, King Commodore, sorry I'm just seeing this. I trade at 10 a.m. because of this. At 10 a.m. you have the 10 a.m. ICT Silver Bullet hour. You have the 9:50 to 10:10 macros, and then you have the 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. 4-hour candle. All these line up with 10 a.m. That's why I trade at 10 a.m. I don't trade 9:30. Also, 9:30 I got faked out a little bit. I mean, I get faked out more than I like to on the 10. I want to get in. I want to see a reversal. Like at 10 a.m. if you lose, like when I lost that day, I still waited for a 5-minute inverted fair value gap and I got it. So you're gonna lose following your rules versus losing because of a fake out. Versus at 9:30, you could lose because of a fake out. You got in a good entry, had a good stop loss, all the things, and you still can get faked out. That's why I trade at 10 a.m. now and not 9 o'clock. But again, it lines up with all those strategies. So if you're a macros trader, you're trading at 10 a.m. If you're ICT Silver Bullet only trader, you're trading at 10 a.m. If you are a CRT trader, which most people, not most people, I need to switch these numbers. A lot of people trade CRT. CRT, you want to catch the 6 a.m. candle. This is the 1 minute chart. Don't piss me off. You want to catch your CRT on like the 2 to 6 a.m. candle, the 6 to 9, 6 to 10, and then 10 to 2. So it lines up with CRT as well. And I feel like 9:30, a lot of volatility hits, so I don't want to be trading in the middle of that 4-hour candle. Versus the 10 a.m., I get to catch the start of the 10 a.m. candle and or the whole 10 a.m. candle. Like this, whole beautiful fat 10 a.m. candle. That's what you want to catch, that. You want to catch that lovely move. This is not a 10 a.m. candle. This is an afternoon trade. That was the news. 10 a.m. candle was not that great that day. That was the day we just took our profit. We did get a little CRT, but it didn't close at sell side. It came down though, but it didn't close. So it lines up with that. I know a lot of people trade CRT now. It just lines up with too many strategies for me to not trade it. I have to do these. I have to fix this whole chart now though. Text should be white. I keep not hitting apply to all. Text white. There we go. I was like, this shit looks ass. Okay, next New York session. Oh, but my session now. My session indicator. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, it looks very bad now. Let's do this looks nasty. This is nasty work. At least Asian in London, we don't need to be, we need it to be dark, but we don't need to be trading in it. But we got to keep this one a little lighter, these New York sessions. Alrighty. Perfect. If that looks better for y'all, let me know. If it doesn't, well, we'll change it tomorrow because we have to get to backtesting. Alright, a new New York session. No, we just traded this. We just traded that 10 a.m. reversal. Boom, beautiful. Next New York session. Now again, you can trade whatever you want. You can trade the 9:30 reversal. You can trade 10 a.m. reversal. You can trade just between 9:30 to 11, which I used to do. But I just, for my patience, sticking to just 10 a.m. was just so much. It's been so much better. I've been happier trading. I've been enjoying trading a lot more. Trading just at 10 p.m., 10 a.m. And especially for most of us beginners, we probably should stay that way. Maybe it doesn't look that bad. We have a bunch of, let's go back to the 4 hour. Let's see what we have going on. Nothing crazy. We have a liquidity of here that I don't think we're gonna hit. We do have a little CRT. We swept this internal 4 hour candle. So if you're a CRT trader, you want it to come to here. Or the bottom of this candle. Some people just trade candle to candle. Hourly chart, what we have already almost down there before 10 a.m. So it's not really helping us at all. So it's giving, it's going to sweep sell side to go higher maybe. There's some sell side there. Then the next one's down there. Then I just go to the 15-minute chart. Do you ever stop after you're in profit? Okay, thanks. What do you mean? No, I just meant, if you're talking about trailing stops, no. I did use one today, but my rule is not to use them. Because if you're an ICT trader, you know the market is going to zigzag down and zigzag up. And I've gotten stopped out and it's gone my way because I've been using trailing stops. So I don't like them. And that's how I lost my gains yesterday. That would have been a $600 play and I wouldn't have to take that second trade that I lost. I would have just took that trade and been off the charts. But you know, it is what it is. But you can use trailing stops if you want. What I do now, like today, what I did, okay, so we had equal highs here. And then my target was here. So once we hit this yellow line, I moved my stop loss to break even. And then once it kind of wicked a little bit, like this candle here, so I thought it might reverse from here. Then I moved my stop loss, like trailing stop, a little bit in, but enough for it can play out, like $300 in profit or something, and then I let it run. But that is technically against my rule because this is an equal high, like it's going here. You know what I'm saying? But you'll know, you'll feel it out. A lot of people trade trailing stops, so you can do it. I've seen a guy who does 40 ticks trailing stop. But like with ICT, like we trade, like say we were going higher, a trailing stop would have stopped you out and then you could have gone higher. Obviously it didn't that day, but you still lost a lot of profit and it came all the way almost back. Like you lost all this and you could have sold up here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm more of a set and forget trader, but lately I do manage my trades because I don't set a stop loss sometimes on NinjaTrader and I'll just trade off TradingView and then just close the trade. So I can add a stop loss, I can add a trailing stop, I can do stuff, and then sometimes I just don't at all. But I used to get really good at just setting and forgetting on, and I need to get back to that. Just set a bracket, set a take profit, set a stop loss, move on. And if you win, you win, you lose, you lose. But yeah, it just depends on the person. You can do either one. But when you do trailing stops, your losses will be bigger than your wins, and it eventually will make you unprofitable. That's another thing. So like all your wins are gonna be like $150, $200, $300, but all your losses are like $400, $500, $600 because you're letting your stop loss fully play out, but then you don't let your profits fully play out. So there's that. What is happening? All right. I'm still probably, I mean, you could have took this on, let's see what it looks like actually. I mean, you could have took this market structure shift, but I think this reversal from this sell side is probably going to be the better trade, but let's see how it plays out. Because it could keep going lower. Ugh. Ooh. Nasty work. Yeah, this is the day you would have either just not traded. I mean, you could have took this reversal up to here. This trade was bigger. Still happened at 10 a.m. It says the 10 a.m. reversal, but we didn't sweep any of the liquidity points we wanted. But you still got a reversal here. And you took it to a sell side, which I like it when it goes to a sell side because that's how my targets run. So this was the better trade, here to here, for a nice 1 to 3. This one did not sweep any liquidity at all, not even this one. So just traded sideways the rest. But I guess this was your 10 a.m. reversal. It did sweep this one technically for a trade. The market trigger shift didn't have until way down here, so you would have to do an inverted fair value gap entry off of this gap here. Once we got a candle close below that gap, you're getting in. You probably would have gotten in, honestly, down here, unless you waited for the second one here. You would have got a better entry, but most of us would have gotten on the first one for a 1 to 2. Not a bad risk reward, but not as good. And then if you technically could take it down, I don't know if it's going to go to the second orange line, but I don't really trade past that. So that's the trade you would have took. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's a good trade. 10 a.m. reversal at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. just be ready to trade. Sometimes it happens as soon as 10 a.m. hits, you get a reversal. Sometimes it's 30 minutes into that 10 a.m. hour. My losses are bigger. I take partials too. Exactly. When your losses are bigger, then you're doing something wrong. Not wrong. Some people are profitable with their losses bigger because they lose less. But just with ICT traders, we just know it's going to liquidity. We took out this liquidity. You take it down to the other one. Boom. So there's no point in taking partials. Now you can take partials, but again, at a liquidity point. Liquidity here, one here, one here, one here. But like I said, I try to at least, if there's a liquidity that's a 1 to 2, 1 to 1.5 above, that's my target, and that's it. I don't need to do anything else. And it's the London low, actually, which is a session liquidity, which is a strong liquidity. A London low, a session low is a strong liquidity point. So these sessions, that's why I have them marked. These are strong liquidity points. So that was a good trade. It came a little fast. But this is how all the trades were last week. Last week I got on at 10 a.m. Even today. Today I got on right at 10 o'clock. And I had to just buy. The market structure shift already happened, like, when was 10? Yeah, I got in on this candle because it had already started reversing on me. I didn't get any of this move, which some people got. You just sometimes get in and just ride it. If you didn't want to, you could have took this sell, and you could even took it down to, well, no, that's 7 o'clock. You cannot. If you trade a prop firm, you cannot. If you trade your own money, you could hold this trade. You could still be in this trade if you want, this reverse trade, but yeah, that's how we trade. You want your losses smaller. Let's do one more. Next New York session, let's go on the 4-hour chart on NQ. What do we see? What do we have? We're still kind of trading in a range. It's looking like it wants to go up to here, though, to these relative equal highs. We didn't do it yesterday, but we reversed. We came up a little bit and then we reversed. So, which yesterday was like a straight CRT. So I like to mark the higher time frame liquidities, but CRT is technically just you sweep the candle before. Like the candle before is a range, and that's why I have that liquidity marked. And that's why I'm just ready for a reversal, because at 10 a.m. it's going to do a reversal from CRT. It's going to do a regular, like, come sweep up some reversal. It's going to do something. As long as you're just ready to play reversal, you're good. You don't have to know all this shit, because I know it gets kind of scary learning all these different models. So yeah, that was a trade yesterday that I marked out. It came here, came down to the London lows, took it out beautifully, and you could have turtle souped that actually. Not at 10 a.m. but oh no, maybe at 10 a.m. No, 8, 9, no, 10 a.m. is here. So the 8 a.m. people could have turtle souped. Our trade was halfway through. It pulled back for us to get in at 10 a.m. and then we went down because it was almost down there. I thought we were going to sweep the sell side first with this red candle, but it came back up, tapped us in to get a sell, and then boom. In the afternoon, it kept running down if you held that trade longer. All right, in the 1 hour, what do we have? We have an internal liquidity sweep already. Could come up to here, but we already kind of swept. And then we have the London lows. right there. So then we go, I might just go in the 1 minute for this one. Mark out 10 a.m. That's not 10 a.m. And I get on the chart at like 9:55. So I can possibly get in earlier if I need to. Boom. Now, is this a 9:30 trade? 9:30 traders got a nice trade. A nice liquidity sweep of this orange buy side. So that was a turtle sweep from 9:30. It wasn't 8 that day. This is 8:30. It ran up. 9:30 traders got in. Got a nice reversal. Let's see if we get us a nice reversal. Okay, so far we did not. And even, I mean, right at 10 a.m. there's a nice little entry here. But this might be a day we just don't take a trade, and that is perfectly fine. Because now it's 1 o'clock. Yeah, today is the day we just would not have traded. And that's fine. Because I'd rather not trade than get like fully faked out. We have no fake outs or anything. It's just trading sideways. You could have maybe gotten in on this little move here, but this was the day the 9:30 traders had their win. And that's why some people get on at 9:30 and trade till 11 or 12 or trade all the time frames. But I just like trading just at 10 because I feel like the trade is bigger than 9:30 most of the time. And like I said, I don't get faked out. The price action is very clean. So you just wouldn't have traded this day. You just would have gotten the chart and not traded. Or maybe came back in the afternoon. If you gone a little earlier, because sometimes I got 9:55, maybe we could have gotten up here somewhere, take it down a little bit, but today we just wouldn't have traded, and that is okay. Obviously, I have a lot of 9:30 traders up in here. Y'all would have ate that day beautifully. And again, that's okay. It would have been nice, especially for us 10:30 traders, to see if it would reverse from this London low, and it didn't. So it is what it is. But yeah, that's how you do your higher time frame analysis. I hope that helped. I hope you see how you can trade with or without it. It does help, but I like the hourly was the best. We came swept the hourly and we came down and we did it. And that's it. That's how you should be back testing. And if not, you can back test with me every night. I do this every night, and we'll be back tomorrow at 8. Obviously, people on YouTube, you don't see the live trades anymore, but I live trade every morning at 9:55 as well on TikTok. And I caught this trade today on live. And yeah, that's it. So you just keep practicing and spending time on the chart, and you'll get better every day, hopefully. And you'll have your own strategy. Like maybe you'll like something you see here that's not at 10 a.m. or you'll like trading just, I don't know, trend lines or just hammer candles or whatever you like to trade, just volume. Some people like to trade just volume. Whatever you like, you'll figure that out when you get on the chart. What time zone will you be on live? Eastern. Everything's Eastern New York time. So I'll be on live 9:55 Eastern time tomorrow, live trading. And then 8 p.m. Eastern every night, back testing. Of course. So yeah. I got another guy took my trade too today. Well, he was already in it, but so yeah, 10 o'clock, and then I usually show what 9:30 did. Like 9:30 today, you could have got faked out. This was a 9:30 candle, so you could have thought we were going down, and then we boom. But we tap into a daily for value gap with a liquidity sweep. So strong bullish action today, clear bullish, very clear price action today, in my opinion, not everyone's opinion. But yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow morning for the live, and tomorrow night we'll continue back testing. We'll continue this, and let me know if y'all want to back test anything else, or if you like the way we've been back testing. Thank y'all.